The Cabin, The Truth, and the End of Yusem Harper Lewis, 34 years old, living in Seattle, Washington. By day, I'm the chief financial officer of a high-end interior design firm. By night, I'm Mason's wife, the college boyfriend I once believed was the love of my life. We had been together for 11 years, married for 6. There was a time I thought nothing could ever break the bond between us. But sometimes the beginning of the end isn't a blowout fight or some earth-shattering betrayal. It's just a text preview on a locked screen. That morning, like any other, I got up earlier than Mason. While brushing my teeth in the bathroom, I saw his iPhone light up on the sink. A message popped up from a name I didn't recognize. "Can't wait for the weekend. The cabin, wine, and that pink lace set." I'm counting the hours. I froze not because the message was bold, but because it was real. I stood there, toothbrush in hand, foam dissolving in my mouth, feet cold against the tile. Behind the frosted glass door, I could hear water running down my husband's back as he showered, getting ready for work like it was any other day. And me? I couldn't take my eyes off the screen as it faded to black. I didn't unlock the phone. I didn't need to. In that moment, what I felt wasn't shock, it was confirmation. I had suspected it for a while. Lately, Mason had been pulling the last-minute business trip excuse, leaving me alone in the once cozy house on empty weekends. He'd started bringing his phone into the shower, something he never used to do. His laptop had a new password, and those eyes that once looked at me with warmth now only glanced past me, like I was a painting on the wall he'd long grown tired of. I used to tell myself, "Don't be paranoid, Harper. Everyone gets tired after all these years. Don't make a scene over a look." But now, I just wanted to go back in time and tell myself, "Stop being stupid." I washed my face, dried my hands, and did my makeup like always. My hands didn't tremble. Instead, I felt a strange emptiness, as if I had just stepped out of my own life and was watching it from the outside. When I walked out of the bathroom, I saw Mason standing in front of the bedroom mirror, tying his tie. He glanced at me and smiled, just like every other morning. Maybe he hadn't realized that everything had changed the moment I read that message on his phone screen. "This weekend, I have a client seminar in Portland," he said, adjusting his collar. "I'll be home late on Sunday." I nodded. "Don't forget to bring a thick coat. It gets cold at night there," I replied, my voice flat, without emotion. I didn't ask about the message. I didn't ask who was counting the hours. I didn't want to interrupt the carefully scripted act he'd put so much effort into, because in my mind, something else had already begun to take shape. And I wouldn't say a single word until it was finished. Mason always slept like a rock after his Thursday night tennis and 2 whiskeys. I knew that as well as I knew his fingerprint unlock his right index finger. That night, once Mason had passed out, the scent of whiskey and shampoo still hanging in the air, I quietly took his phone and gently tilted his hand onto the sensor. Click! The screen lit up. A chill crept down my spine like the winter wind off the lake by the cabin where he once promised to build a balcony for us. The message about the pink lace set was just the surface. What I found was an entire secret life he'd been living, one I had no idea about. Her name was Claire Donovan. Not some naive 20-something. Claire was a sales rep for a medical device company, about 38 years old, living in Tacoma. She had sharp wit, experience, and more importantly, she was married. His name came up in an older message. "Tyler will be in San Jose all week. The cabin's all ours." Tyler Donovan, her husband. I quietly Googled him, typed in his name, and there it was, his LinkedIn profile. Tyler Donovan, 41 years old, a high-end residential architect specializing in sustainable spaces, with his own firm in Bellevue. His profile picture showed a tall man, light stubble, and a tired but kind smile. I didn't sleep that night. Each message felt like a blade slicing through old memories. Every time Mason said he was going to a training in Portland. Every night, I sat alone reviewing files with only the dishwasher humming in the background. The next morning, I sat in front of my computer, writing and rewriting a message at least 15 times before finally sending it. "Hi Tyler, this is Harper Lewis. I believe my husband Mason Lewis and your wife Claire Donovan are having an affair. If you're open to a conversation, I can share evidence. My number is 2655731. My palms were soaked with sweat the moment I hit send. 3 hours later, my phone rang. His voice was deep and strangely calm, but there was a subtle tremor beneath it. Is this some kind of joke? I wish it were, I replied, my throat dry. I have texts, photos, and their weekend plans at the Chelon Lake cabin. A pause. What do you want to do? He asked after a long silence. I gripped the phone tighter, then spoke slowly. Would you want to meet them there with me before they uncork the wine or take off their coats? Tyler didn't answer right away, then finally a long breath. Okay, let's meet first. I want to see what you know. We agreed to meet Saturday morning at a small cafe in Ellensburg, halfway between Seattle and Chelon. I arrived early, sitting in a corner booth facing the parking lot, and it took just one heartbeat to recognize Tyler when he walked in. Tall frame, light brown coat, and a stride that carried the weight of winter behind it. He sat down without small talk. I placed my phone on the table, opened the message thread between Mason and Claire, and handed it to him. With every swipe of the screen, I saw his hand tighten. When he reached the photo Claire had sent her toes on the hardwood floor of the cabin, a floor he instantly recognized as his own design. He leaned back, eyes shut. I thought it was just work, just distance. He murmured, she never wanted to see a counselor. Now I know why. After nearly an hour of conversation, Tyler said, I still have a spare key to the cabin. Claire doesn't know I kept it. I nodded. Mason thinks I'm on a business trip in Spokane this weekend. He has no idea I'm anywhere near here. Then we'll get there first, he said, looking directly at me. But no yelling. No drama. Just let them see us. And the truth. I tightened my grip on the coffee mug and nodded. The plan came together from the shattered pieces inside both of us. The betrayed. Full story continues with complete punctuation, formatted dialogue, and paragraph breaks through the reveal, confrontation, pregnancy twist, divorce decision, and closing reflections. Do you want me to finish this entire story in this style, fully punctuated, formatted, professional narrative, and deliver it as a single polished file perfect for publishing, voiceover, or YouTube narration? Or should I split it into chapters or sections for pacing and add titles for each section like a serialized dramatic episode? This will take about 6-8K words fully polished. Which do you prefer? One continuous version, novel-style chaptered version for YouTube with cliffhangers.